goalless draw against Richards Bay FC. Azola Ntsabo comes in at left back. You've got Papama Tiongana, who's in the holding midfield. Craig Martin will store up the right-hand side and cause problems and maybe contain Relebohile Mofokeng. And Ayabulele Konkobe will start just behind Sinokolo Kwaiba, who will lead the line for Chippa United tonight.
Well, there's so much happening on the right-hand side of the attack and in defense for Chippa United. There's Martin, who can resort back to defensive position. There's also Martinwane, but there's also Kamis in the right-hand side of the middle. But the reason for that is because that side of the channel will be heavily bombarded by Hoto and Relebohile. Let's see just how better they'll fare this evening.
Top of September, Morgan Mamila. Having scored a goal in the last two matches, Chippa United lost by 1-0 against Sekhukhune United, and then a 0-0 draw against Richards Bay FC. Pirates making 4 changes as well, and I'm very intrigued about the starting lineup. Sipho Choine is suspended for this match after 4 yellow cards. His 4th yellow card picked up against Marumo. So Malusi Buthelezi plays for just the 2nd time this season in all competitions. His previous match on the 26th of January against Richards Bay FC in the Nedbank Cup. They won 3-1 on that day, Orlando Pirates. But there's a debut for Siyabonga Ndlozi at right-sided fullback. There's a debut for Bekele Mbokazi at centre-back alongside Sabisi. It really is a bit of a debut.
Even though they lost over the weekend, Paris still played well. They still created the right kind of chances. So there's not a lot that's going to change in the attack. Of course, the real big concern is that in that defensive unit.
Yeah, I think if there's ever an opportunity for Chippa United to spring a surprise tonight, it would be to put a lot of pressure on Ndlozi and Mbokazi. For me, and Kosanati Sabisi was a pillar of strength against Marumo Gallants. Our match referee tonight is Skumbuzo Gaza with Kharamo Kwen and Happy Nklankla, the assistant referees. Siyobulela Kunta is our 4th official for this round 21 encounter in the Betway Premiership. Stanley Mbapali, the Nigerian goalkeeper, 29-year-old, is the skipper of Chippa United. And Kosanati Sabisi for Orlando Pirates playing in the centre of the defence. There's a couple of players that I'm really excited to see tonight, and one of them will be Sinokolo Kwaiba. 6 goals for him this season. I've lost count of how many Player of the Match awards that he's won, and he seems to score in braces. Scored a brace against Cape Town City, scored a brace against Magesi FC, was on the scoreboard against Golden Arrows as well, scored a brace against Magesi FC in consecutive matches as well. So his 6 goals in the Betway Premiership have all come courtesy of braces. It would be quite incredible if he was able to continue with that sort of feat here in front of his home supporters here at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Gqeberha. It's good to have you with us on your Roll of Champions. The referee, Mr. Kumbuzo Gaza, summoning the 2 teams close to the centre circle for the kickoff of this encounter. Very difficult to hear up in the commentary box, let alone down on the pitch. It really is a cacophony of noise here at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Stanley Mbapali in goal for Chippa United. Malusi Buthelezi gets only his 2nd start for the Buccaneers. So we're underway then in Gqeberha. These Orlando Pirates who will get us underway, playing in their change strip of green. They will attack the goal to the left-hand side of your screen. Dion Hotto with a touch to Relebohile. Chippa United in the all-red will play from left to right during the course of the first 45 minutes. Just giving the ball away a little in the midfield there, Makahleni, which is quite uncommon for him. It's a beautiful turn from Mbokazi. That'll give him so much confidence, William.
That's exactly what he needed, youngster, to be able to use that starting lineup at an orange fight side that's under a lot of pressure after that weekend result. But you got to understand, Toge has played too many games since returning to injury, so that body of his cannot take the stress of so many games back to back. And remember, Sesane is out for a long time, probably 4 months after an Achilles tendon injury.
Carrington Barter had a good game against Marumo Gallants. Mofokeng kept it in play nicely. Dion Hotto And every time he's on the ball, there could be something in the offing as far as Pirates are concerned. Velabokili as well. Tidied up pretty quickly by Chippa United, the Chile boys. Dlamini with a cross. Makaula wasn't able to quite lay it down, but losing patience maybe, and the shot comes in from Ndlozi. I was quite impressed with Ndlozi when he came on as a sub against Marumo on Saturday.
Yeah, very impressed, but he made his debut for Orlando Pirates in the CAF Champions League against Al Ahly. And I was scared. I thought, what is the coach doing? But the boy fit so well that he's obviously very settled now in the absence of Van Rooyen, who has a slight muscle pull. That's why he's not available for selection this evening.
Main target man for Orlando Pirates tonight, Sekafata Mabasa. 5 goals in the Premier League, but here comes an opportunity from Craig Martin. Sabisi with a foul. And if that ball had gone through to Koyiba, it could have been all sorts of trouble for Malusi Buthelezi. And a yellow card from Bukazi.
That's the kind of pressure that teams like Chippa United can apply to the so-called bigger teams, because they play a lot of transition football. Bukazi here gets the attention of Koyiba, who, as a midfielder, is scoring goals. That's why he's been pushed a little bit forward, because he's so aggressive. I'm not sure if Bukazi meant it, but somehow the contact was made.
Does provide a little bit of an opportunity for Chippa United. Ball not far away from the penalty area of Malusi Buthelezi. They do have options to Chippa United, left and right footed. Zola Tsabo is in there, Craig Martin will be in there. No doubt Koyiba himself would fancy a situation. It just looks like there's one man for Chippa United, and that is Zola Tsabo, the 26-year-old.
Now, I'm looking at Buthelezi trying to scream orders into his defense, but I'm not sure just how much can his defenders hear his instructions, because when it's so noisy like this, goalkeepers always have a challenge to get the information through.
The match referees have really paced out the 10 meters. Orlando Pirates seem to be not so keen to drop back, and Talenton Part is one of those. So was Mabasa. Bello Glamini as well. Eventually a bit of sanity prevails.
I'm a little bit scared about the number of the players on that wall. For me, it's a little bit more central. Maybe you need a bit of 4. But let's see what will Buthelezi has seen to have placed that 3. Is it enough?
Giovanni Philander, along with Zola Tsabo. I'll tell you what, if there's one player that I've been impressed with this season, it's been Giovanni Philander. He's 24 years old. Comes from FN Rangers, and he's really, really been impressive. Around the wall into the side netting. It's not a bad effort. Bit of a dummy, I thought.
He shows the most difficult, the execution to try and go around the wall. And remember, the goalkeeper's guarding the far side, and he had to scramble across Buthelezi to try and cover that end. And that was very, very close. A little bit of a better spin, that could have been a big problem for Buthelezi, who clearly was a little bit late in coming across.
Boy Madingwana playing it right back tonight for Chippa United. To remember him as slightly more of an attacking player. Yes, he was named as a right back and maybe a defender at Baroka FC when Morgan Mambila was there, and hence that's the connection between Boy Madingwana, Baroka and Chippa United. But he has popped up here at Chippa United. Plays consecutive matches in the starting lineup. Now Sergio Kami's just a little touch too much for him, and Makakleni Makaula is always going to snaffle those pretty comfortably. Nicely away by Bukazi. It's like a foul from Sekafata Mabasa.
In fact, it looks as Sabisi tries to clear, he was actually fouled. So already the flag was up from the far side. The ball had to be taken back to where Sabisi cleared the ball.
Okay. Philander, he's done nicely, Philander. Good little touch to him as well by Chongkwana. Philander Good touch from Konkobe. Looking comfortable on the ball here. The pace has been quite good in this match so far. Philander wins a corner.
Here's the instructions from Tower September to the team. Enjoy the stage was the main message. He says this is a point they can afford to lose, but they got to go out there and give a good account of themselves. That's why you see a little bit of freedom in the way that the Chippa United players play. Very confident on the ball, and you can see the touches. There's no element of risk about how they play.
Fernand's first corner kick of the match goes to the home side. No success over the top of the head of Ayabulela Konkobe by just a slight margin, but it keeps Chippa United on the attack, does the clearance from Orlando Pirates. They certainly won't want to repeat of the match in Bloemfontein on Saturday. Delightful goal from Gabadinho Mhango, and then an own goal from Talentum Bata in the second half of that one. The Cannons might have scored a third as well. Was the ball, the whole of the ball over the whole of the line, William Shongwe?
Wow, wow. That one needed 13 cameras to be able to
yeah,
pick
you're
it
right,
up.
because we had one on the line, and I mean, I was so impressed with the assistant referee, whose name eludes me for the moment in that match, on the near side, because he was right on the corner flag, and he was down on his haunches, you know, and didn't flag for anything. And I think it was the right decision, actually.
Now the corner looks like in favor of Chippa United.
He's going to work hard tonight, CBC. He's got a lot of work to do because he's got these youngsters all around him. Buthelezi is not really a youngster, but Ndlozi and Bukazi, it's all very well coming on as a change player. Been playing for 10, 15, 20 minutes, but they've been thrown into the deep end here by coach Jose Ribeiro, who have the defenders. Consecutive corners for Chippa United. 8.5 minutes played in Gqeberha. Bit of pushing in the area, but the pushing came from Chippa. Again, it might have been Konkobe who's the guilty party.
And it is, of course, very important for Buthelezi to get a feel of the ball, get a few saves to make in these beginning stages for somebody that hasn't played in quite a long time. One game since the season began, with China playing most of the game. Obviously suspended, like you said earlier.
Mofokeng gets a little touch on it, but nothing to bother Chippa United. Nice little shimmy in there from Maringwana. Can't find Kwayiba. Talentum Bata, it's a lovely ball. If the first touch had been better, there might have been some momentum, and there isn't for Dlamini. And again, Maringwana covers nicely. I think Paris would do well to pressurise the right-sided fullback, the former Baraka man. We'll see if that happens. Sabisi to Makoula. Some acceleration from Ndlozi. Now he's out of position. Kwayiba's a very quick man indeed. Nice little burst of pace as well, I must say, from Sabisi. That's impressive. And there's a Chippa United man who's down. On the far side might very well be Azolan Tsabo.
Indeed. I spoke about Hoto on that left-hand side of the attack of Pirates and Rele Bukila, but there's also Kabelo, who's naturally left-footed, who drifts into the left-hand side. So you can understand the overload on the right-hand side of defense for Chippa, based on those three players who are both very attacking.
Stanley Mubali finally gets a touch on the ball, so that matter does Tsumukwana, man who's locally based, starts for the third time, who plays for the fourth time, does Papama, played at a team called Peacemakers here in the Eastern Cape. Forward by Maringwana, there wasn't a touch that was decent enough for Kamis from Kwayiba. And away by Makaula. This is where Orlando Pirates will be dangerous with Mahama Quota. First yellow card of the encounter. Quota brought down. The proliferation of Orlando Pirates supporters not happy with the challenge.
Do you think Zabo had an option there? I think if Angocha breaks through, you know he's going to ping in a decent cross, but also if he decides to cut into inside, he's got a decent left about him, he can also cut in and take a direct shot. So he needed to be decisive there in Zabo.
Decisive indeed. There's a yellow card. Already 2 yellow cards. Bukazi and then Sabo, one apiece. An important role to play, Azola. Only from broken play, but from set pieces as well. 5 fouls, 2 yellow cards from referee Skumbuzo Gabasa. It doesn't turn into a card fest. First time that Orlando Pirates will have a set piece of any great quality. If they can manufacture the quality out of it, and Talenton Parter wants to get on the end of this one. No doubt Dion Hotto is not part of it. Nicely pinged in towards Lubopali, who might ordinarily have caught that. He didn't. Punched away into no man's land, and then pinged wide by Mofokeng.
Of course, my question is, I'm not sure what will have been the reason for Nobali to punch that away, because it seemingly came straight to him. As strong as a shot might be, but if you're a great goalkeeper like him, you should just absorb that into the basket. I mean, honestly, he didn't have to move an inch. Maybe the players in front of him.
If you had to stop that picture and draw a circle around Nobali, the nearest player to him is probably one of his own players, and the rest are 2 meters away. So I get your point completely. Another pull in the midfield. Cummins this time, the guilty party. Dlamini's having a hard time.
And Cummins, that's exactly the reason why they brought him into that middle of the park. Recently, he's been playing a bit more defensive as a defensive midfielder. And he's that kind of a player, very aggressive. Sometimes he gets a little more agitated, which easily can put him or end up putting him into trouble by ending a booking. Like you said, it might end up being a cut fest.
Captain of Chippa United tonight, Stanley Mbabali. Consecutive free kicks for Orlando Pirates. Kamis with a little header. That convincing with the clearance either. Mofokeng gets a little touch on it. And that is a yellow card for simulation. I don't think there can be any doubt whatsoever of the intentions of Sibisi. And while he appeals the decision from the referee, I don't think there's much of a case to be made.
Only the other Paris players are appealing. Sibisi himself wasn't bothered to even say a word. Let's look at this. He already anticipated that Kamis was going to stick his leg in there, so he jumps even before contact is made.
Clear daylight. Kamis is not happy. Maringwan is not happy. Sibisi probably knows that he made a meal of that one.
That's why he didn't bother to appeal.
Nope.
Witness about getting a booking already. I'm already thinking, what does Chippa have on that left full-back position? They've got Modise, who has played there throughout the season, or they've been exchanging that position between him and Zabo.
Sibisi came into this match on 3 yellow cards, by the way, so he'll miss the Cups quarter-final. Space in the middle of the park! You've got to convert those. You have to convert those opportunities. Mapasa didn't. Was it Dlamini?
Cabello, yes, it is. And he fell perfectly into his left-hand side, and I thought he opened up the foot beautifully to guide it into that corner, but Mbata was excellent here, as he saw damage to 2 players with 1 move. It's a good cut back to the oncoming Dlamini, and it looks like it needed a little bit more of a curl to find the back of the net. And if you look at Nobali in goal, he was actually anticipating the ball to be played directly to his left-hand side, which didn't.
It was good positioning by Zola and Sabo as well, just to make the angle more difficult, or the sight on goal less direct. Mabasa is not having a good time. He's claiming an elbow thrown by Kamis. And a little bit of argy-bargy as the referee might want to contain with.
A few exchanges of handbags. That's when the West Coast.
Might very well have been an elbow.
Yeah, but it's those type of jumps whereby the other player is using his arms for leverage. And maybe Cummins knows exactly what he was trying to do there. You can understand the frustration from Mabasa. Clearly he felt the contact.
Now the 29-year-old's not happy. 11 goals this season, 5 of them in the Betway Premiership. A couple of hat-tricks as well. One against Marumo Gallants. Another one against Barocca FC. One in league football, one in the Nedbank Cup.
I'm just trying to think. Cummins, you know, he has played as a right fullback.
Yes.
And Mofokeng has terrorized him in the past. And I'm thinking maybe he asked the coach, please excuse me today, I don't want to be up against this youngster.
Don't face the music. There's still a bit of a problem here for Tsekofatso. Maybe there's a little cut inside of his mouth.
Yes, yes.
I'm sure that it's not a debilitating injury. That can be treated next to the touchline. See no reason why this match has to be stopped this long.
Well, that looks like the medical team is still going to take him outside for further assessment before they let him back into the field. Yes, that's not the kind of injury that will have him substituted. It's something that he can deal with along the way.
18 minutes gone. Chippa United 0, Orlando Pirates 0. Pirates ready for Mombasa to get back on the field of play. Down to 10 at the moment, the Buccaneers. Zolan Sabo, Koyiba.
It's amazing how Koyiba has developed from just a number 8 into a number 10, now a number 9. Incredible. 6 goals, top goal scorer for Chippa United.
Sergio Cummins looking for some leverage. Doesn't quite get the leverage, and there was a little touch in there from Koyiba. Way by Makaula. As he tied it up as well by Makele. That's a good flick on as well from Tungwana. Moto has to be careful of the player looking on his shoulder. Did nicely there, did the Namibian.
I think he got the message from the goalkeeper as the man behind. He was fully aware of the presence of the threat behind him. Craig Martin, player threatening.
Quick player too, Craig Martin, all in Cape Town. Otto with an intervention. Nice positioning here from Craig Martin. Good clearance from Ndlozi. They are being forced onto the defensive, onto the back foot. We saw that against Marumo Gallants. I'm sure there'll be many teams below Orlando Pirates, and there are 16 teams below Orlando Pirates on the log. That will look to that display from the new coach of Marumo Gallants and the result as well. But the gameplay, Kamis again. There's pushing from Chippa United, and that's now 3 times they've been in that sort of position, and 3 times they've been blown for a little bit of physicality inside that Pirates penalty area.
Motivation very high.
Very high.
And you know, when the so-called smaller teams, or lesser profile than Orlando Pirates and the other big teams in the league, the motivation is just so high when you're up against these ones. In every way, mentally, physically, and otherwise.
Quarter goes back to Ndlozi. Makaula. Goes out of play. Two very, very young players, one on the right-hand side, one on the left, both 20 years old, both from the junior ranks at Orlando Pirates. It's a Interesting balance that Jose Ribeiro is trying to create here. And if you look at these introductees in Buthelezi and Dlozi and Bukazi, it's a fabulous building process. Philander goes past and Dlozi pulls the trigger.
Yeah, he lets himself down a little bit. The space did open up for him. That's why inverted wingers are troublesome when they cut into the inside in that fashion, because the space in front of them just opens up where they can unleash a powerful shot. Wasn't the case with Philander.
It's a delightful ball from Dlamini. Mabasa. Well, it's on target. That's about all.
No power. I'm a little bit disappointed. It was perfectly set for him to squeeze into that far post with a high shot, whether high or low. It's his stronger foot, which is his left. He lets himself down big time, the youngster.
I'm really enjoying a slightly more forward role that Dlamini's playing tonight. No shots on target yet from Chippa United. Pirates have 2 from 5 creative efforts.
He's playing the role of Masongane.
Yep.
He's the one that attacks the spaces in the attacking dead.
2 matches in a row that Patrick is not available. Tickle inside from Boy Madingwana. And everybody behind the halfway line for Orlando Pirates, and Mabasa's been ruffled up a little. Free kick to the Buccaneers. Chongwana. Did a good job so far in the midfield. Complaining that the free kick was taken in the wrong position. The referee sends Pirates about 10 meters or so further back. Now a chance for Nkonta, shows too much of the ball to Azola. Sabo, nice little pullback as well. Dlamini can't latch on. Indecisive. You've got to get in there and blaze away. Nice touch though, I must say, from Bukazi. Now Talenton Barter. Fans starting to get a bit excited about the prospect, because Talenton Barter,
how unlucky can you be
had a good season
if you're in Bata, who played so well over the weekend and then scores an all goal? That, for me, this is the type of game that he needs to lift himself out, because he's a brilliant player. What he does in that middle park is just incredible. For me, it's his speed with which he covers from about the centre line into the 45 yards. Not too many players does what he does in that fashion.
No, you're right. I think he's got a wonderful touch. Bukazi. Martin gets the ball away. Now an opportunity for Concorbe. Giovanni Philander. Missed it.
First touch maybe lets it down slightly, because he leaves the ball behind.
I completely agree with you.
And if he gets it on the front foot, his angle is even better to strike the ball. I'm sure we're going to see it a little bit more here. Concorbe does very well to pick him up. And by the time he picks it up for a shot, it's a little bit too ahead, and the angle is gone a little bit narrow.
Great opportunity. It's all in the first touch. He'll learn. Talenton Barter's got a wonderful first touch. Talking about first touches, Dion Hotto is ranging up behind Rela Bokhili here. He's got a beautiful touch. Whether it be first, second or third, left or right footed. Corbe's done nicely. Way by Azola. Giovanni. It's a bit ambitious. I'm liking the idea. I'm enjoying the flair. It's just got to be a bit more thought behind it from Giovanni. He's an exciting prospect.
Definitely.
Bukazi. Nkonta. Philander gets in the way. Nicely recovered by Dlamini. And then given away again to Sergio Camis. One for you, one for me at the moment. It's a good ball. Looking to go on the overlap as well was Chongwana. Just not able to make it count. Chippa United. The match has been played at a fair lick. I'm enjoying the pace of this.
The intensity is excellent. I mean, this is the type of game, particularly tonight.
Look at Otto, known goal scorer. Beautiful challenge from Martin.
That's the whole point of playing Martin as a winger, because he's able to get back to defensive patterns very quickly.
Kola Boyiba, 25-year-old, played in Pretoria Callies before he went to Polokwane City. But look at Hotto. How about that challenge?
Like I said, for me, that right-hand side of the attack and defense is very heavy because of the bombardment that they expected.
He's looking for the flick on, doesn't get it. Makaula will attempt to clear. Moloa. Kamis. Nicely tidied up though by Orlando Pirates with Rela Bokile. Easy pickings for Azola. Tsabo. The greatest of first touches from Tiongwana. They're enjoying the fair share of possession, I think, Chippa United. They really settled down nicely here against the Orlando Pirates outfit. Martin. Looking for Cummings on the first ball and gets a second ball ahead of Talenton Barter. That's good play by Chippa United. Maybe a bit fortunate as well. Adingwana. Koyiba. His favourite right flank side again, and then a little bit of hit and hope from Azola Tsabo. There's purpose about Chippa United.
There's one thing that can happen in football. Orlando Pirates was having a good run, unstoppable, and up until they took a wobble in that game. And sometimes when that happens, it gives an impression from opposition teams that you'll be playing against that, you know what, this team is beatable, so maybe we have a chance. And so when you come as a Chippa United, you're not playing on the back foot. You're not affording too much respect. And this is what happens basically, because you think, you know what, we can do this thing.
Well, I mean, besides the big lead that Mamelodi Sundowns have at the top of the table, 18 points, and Pirates might have 4 matches in hand, but it's only 12 points, etc. We've been down this conversation a few times. However, William, Orlando Pirates in the first half of the season were unbeaten. Let's have a look at Koyiba. Not too bad for Buthelezi, well positioned. In 2025, and we're only on the 5th of March, 3 defeats away from home for Orlando Pirates. So is there a little bit of doubt creeping in? The gap between themselves and the top of the table, you know, they lost against Maruma, but prior to that, they lost against Cape Town City with the return of Mushin Ertugrul. They lost against Mamelodi Sundowns in that 4-1 defeat. So all 3 away losses, and they've only had 3, have taken place in 2025. And then, you know, we speak about momentum, forward momentum, reverse momentum, you know, the psychology. It's all got to fit together, and somehow it's just not. Wilabukile, Mapasa! Well, Parley's done nicely. Cummings has done even better.
Good play by Orlando Pirates. You got to appreciate this type of passes. It's the pockets that are most difficult to find, or even having players running into them. This time, Mapasa found and spaded, the ball was played through, and only the size of Nobali kept him away.
Martin collide.
Oh, he's been in the wars, Martin. Mabasa. Now, talk about Craig Martin, who is supposed to be more in the attack, but he's now helping out defensively. Naturally, lately, in recent times, he was played as a right full back. So it's easy for him to convert. Excellent goalkeeping.
Yeah, that Keenan Phillips just scored for Mangoba Niti side against Mamelodi Sundowns. Should been a goal for Cape Town City against TX Galaxy as well. Gonzalez for Mushinoto goal, and it's been a long time since they've been in front in a match. Tekakulu United leading over Richards Bay FC by a goal to nil as well. So goals coming in 3 different venues. Nothing in this one yet, but there's a free kick here. Taken short by Mofokeng. That's too easy to defend for Kamis and company. Koyiba as well. Koyiba. His first touch was exquisite to get away from Talenton Parter. And Kota fights back. And Kota's in space. Koyiba with a couple of good touches, but he got himself into a bit of trouble. Somehow Chippa United survived that little scary moment. Under pressure from Martin. Nicely kept in play, but second ball for Giovanni Philander. Nice work by Makaula. Not often did you find him dribbling to that sort of degree of success for Makahleni. That was brilliant.
It's just that we see a lot more defensive work from him, but he's a player with great ability, and given the opportunity in front of him, he needs to bring the goods in, weaving his way past to create the chance for himself to play ball forward.
Someone was looking for Koyiba, and Philander's done nicely again. I like the way that Papama Tongwana is operating. Kota not able to make any progress on that right-hand side. He really has been bottled up rather nicely by Azolan Tsabo.
Another good turn by Mbogazi.
Oh, it's a lovely ball. Look at the space available for Orlando Pirates, and maybe the drive towards the penalty area might have been slightly the better option for Dlamini. We'll have another go, will the former Celtic man. Kota, there was a little run from Ndlozi, and Kota didn't play the predictable ball. Now they're in reverse gear here, Pirates. Bukazi. Dion Hotto. The ball was just trapped a little underneath his body. I don't think he could quite get it away, and that's a little bit of a bully challenge from Makaula on
Koyiba.
On Kobe.
Oh, over here.
Referee will have a little word to the highly experienced and exceptionally talented Makaula. Remember him when he started his career at Elakoto Free State Stars, but a lot of developments happened since then. It's interesting that Chippa United want to make a substitution, and that's going to be Modise, who is going to be coming on, which is rather interesting.
I guess he's a left full back, of course. And I'm afraid maybe with Nzabo bringing so much pressure there, and with the yellow card already issued to him, maybe that's the risk that they foresee.
Absolutely, I think it's intelligent. Playing against the Pirates are and they're going to force that issue. I mean, I don't think Kota's doing enough really to unsettle Azolan Tsabo. It's going to be interesting to see what he comes up against when he plays against Modise, 26-year-old. Played at Maritzburg United, you'll remember, and then in the first division with JDR Stars. No way through from Nkoto, who suddenly pops up on the inside left channel. Koyiba, Martin, both pacey players, and there was a little dart through the middle, and it wasn't picked up by Chippa United. Konkobe. There's space for Giovanni Philander on the left-hand side, but Martin's also clear on the right as Pirates consolidate their position. It was risky from Dion Hotto, but it paid off rather nicely. Talent Mbata, Dion Hotto, Mofokeng. Lovely interchange of passes. They make about 25-30 meters in the process. Sibisi, very adventurous from the captain. Sabo clears. Will that substitution take place? There is Giovanni Filenda. I think Sabo will be a little bit disappointed. He looks over towards the touchline. He just saw the head drop, but there's no doubt he will understand the reason for this change.
Not because he's done anything wrong. If there's any comfort that he can get talking to the coaches thereafter, is that it's the risk that was facing him at the time, having been issued a card, and because the pressure coming from the right inside was still coming.
That's fabulous piece of defending from Madingwana. Watched the ball, not the feet, and he did exceptionally well there, the former Baraka man. Bukazi. Sibisi. There is a bit of space available for Dion Hotto if he makes a good first touch, which he always seems to do and does again here. Hotto with a little slider. Mbata! Again, didn't quite hit the ball with power.
That's exactly what was missing. I mean, just about this is what I saw over the weekend. Pirates weave their way into that attacking phase beautifully, creating the right spaces. It's a beauty of the ball. And Mabasa is onside, but it just doesn't pack the power, as the placement was excellent, which is why he chose, but no power.
Now, one of those shots, and one has to illustrate that, William Shaw, one of those shots was with the left foot, the other with the right. So it doesn't matter which foot he's prominent on, he's missed with both. And maybe they're both on target, but they've been little dribbly affairs that an international goalkeeper of the stature of Salim Mabali would be embarrassed with if it slipped underneath him. They haven't.
Listen, Paris will continue to threaten the goal era of Chippa United on a continuous basis. It's just a question of when will Paris find the target. This is where they need to improve when they're in front of goal. Is what I see just about a whole lot of times. They let themselves down big time in so many different occasions where they can't find the back of the net.
Looking at the Combox window, William, it was interesting to see Sabo having a little chat and a hug with top of September, and maybe just the explanation as to you know what his game plan was. And Sabo will go down the tunnel as well. But I think there is an understanding about the substitution, and it's sometimes, you know, when a player gets taken off and there isn't that explanation, you know, self-doubt is a big thing. Eh?
That's what kills players.
Kills
confidence, yeah. So, but coaches must understand that. As they often say, some coaches feel like they don't need to explain themselves to the player. I'm like, if you want to build this player so that he's able to continue to understand that there's certain pressures, there's certain views that they see from the bench that they need to address in a certain way. So a little bit of a whisper to the ear of the player always goes a long way.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. That's Makaula. 5 minutes in stoppage time away from half-time in Tilburg. Thanks for joining us tonight. Betway Premiership action. Nelson Mandela Bay. Just a bit of stop-start here from Mbakazi. Pirates have the 10% possession advantage. Dion Hotto. Getting back to Hotto. Hotto with a little face-off with Craig Martin. Madingwana's done rather nicely. I think Madingwana, I tell you what, I haven't seen him play this well in the Premiership. The youngster from Baraka. I think he's done rather nicely at right back, and one can understand why he's playing in consecutive starts. Forward by Ndlozi. No reason to chase by Nkota.
But over the weekend, of course, up against Richard Spain, this was the international, had him under all sorts of trouble, if you talk Motingwane, which I fear that maybe, just maybe, the coach will have doubts about his contribution. But you're right, he's developed so nicely into the right position.
Galaxy have equalised against Cape Town City, by the way. Cooney still lead over Richards Bay FC. There's Dion Hotto. A bit more space than we've seen him enjoy over the last little while. Tries to do a little top of the shoulder and a give and go, but that didn't quite work out for him. Support from Barilla Bukile. Hotto again, a little nutmeg on Madingwana, no damage done.
Look at how easily they double up on Hotto. Once again, it's just that combination of right-footed defensive players that easily can shift to assist Motingwane. When Hotto and Mufwin try to double up on him.
Foul by Koyiba, right in front of the assistant referee. Bukazi will scrape himself up from the lush turf here in Kleberga.
One will see some of these youngsters dropping to the first team for Orlando Pirates, which wasn't the case in the past. They'll have to be loaned elsewhere before they could come back and settle in the Pirates side. Now we're seeing quite an avalanche of these players settling in beautifully in the Orlando Pirates starting lineup. Credit to the development structures, of course, and the coaches that are there, that are helping to refine these players at these early stages. But the DDC also competition is very helpful to help with the development of some of these players.
Mistake by Sibisi. Koyiba with a half a sniff, but Buthelezi was much closer to the ball. Assistant referee on the far side, happy in the clap.
So the offside call, make the offside call. Porter tries to come in, but very late.
It looks like Koyiba's got a problem. In the meantime, it'll be a bit of a blow. Look, it's just before half-time, so if he can manage to get into the half-time break and get onto the treatment table, maybe he'll be okay. He's exceptionally valuable for this Chippa side.
Massive. Massive. Like I said, top goal scorer for Chippa United, and that tells you a lot about his scoring ability, having played in the middle and then attacking. So it's Tabo September. Now it looks like Evanga has to come in.
Yep.
So last instructions by Tabo September. But already you see those knees are already heavily bandaged. What does that mean? Maybe he brought the injury with him before the game started.
Penalty for Mamelodi Sundowns, converted 1-1 Arrows and Mamelodi Sundowns, 1-1 Cape Town City and Teagues Galaxy, 0-0 Chippa Pirates, 0-0 Supersport Amazulu. So Makuni lead against Richards Bay FC. And I'm fascinated for next Tuesday when Magesi FC are going to take on Richards Bay FC, William, in Polokwane. And that is a massive six-pointer. It's the opposite side of the table to where Orlando Pirates have aspirations at the moment. 3 minutes added on to the end of the first half. We are in first half stoppage time in Kleberga. It's been entertaining stuff. The referee allows that challenge on Kamis from Talenton Barton to go unpunished. And that's a bit of a retaliation from Kamis on Dlamini. Referee might have a chat. Fans love to see themselves on the big screens here in Kleberga. Pirates had to wait until first half stoppage time to earn their first corner kick. It's amazing.
Critical time of the game.
Okay, the body stays flew to his post. That's headed away by Olaoa. Central Cummings, what a game he's playing today. Simply integral role, both on the attack and, more importantly, on the defensive, as consecutive corners here for Orlando Pirates. 90 seconds away from half-time in Glimberga. Hope you're enjoying the action on your World of Champions tonight, round 21 of the Betway Premiership. After this one, 9 matches remaining. Lovely in-swinger. Kwayiba got a touch, I think. Martin, more decisive. 3 corners in a row.
Maybe Orlando Pirates leaving it too late to create that kind of pressure. Still, not within a chance to be able to knock in a goal at least late out of the half.
Once again, here pass! It's beautifully orchestrated. Fantastic from Sibisi, I think it is. Fantastic. Just pulled away from his marker a little bit. The corner was played a little short. The angled header was beautifully positioned past Nwabali. It's a captain's goal.
The other goal that he scored for Pirates was in a similar fashion, where he came running in. I can't quite remember who it was up against, but what a header, cracker of a header, almost similar to this one. This one a little bit tighter. Even for nobody who was standing right there by the near post, still gets bit. That's the quality of the header.
Unbelievable. Oh, it's beautiful. The angle, the running was beautiful.
Oh, one Pirates player amongst 6 of Chippa United in that box.
And a big gap on the near post.
Critical time of the game, it is called for this reason.
Crucial. BC gets his first goal of the season. Pirates lead by a goal to 0.
Wow, that changes the
Final
topic.
touch of the first half, William.
That changes the topic in that dressing room
On both sides, for both teams.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Kwayiba was probably the closest player to Sibisi. It's not Kwayiba's duty to be picking it up, though. I mean, where is Makele? Where's Malaoa? And where Modise could have picked it up. But 5 or 6 players, I mean, he just ghosted his way in front of them. Little wormy movement. The header was impeccable. No chance for Mbali. Wow. So the only match that doesn't have a goal is SuperSport United Amazulu, but Mbali will be reflective of that goal as he goes into half-time, and came in the nick of time for Orlando Pirates, who had threatened to be sought one position, nearly a 55% possession. Sibisi scores 3 minutes into first half stoppage time for Orlando Pirates, who lead then at half-time by a single goal to 0. From FN Rangers, and he's really been impressive. Round the wall into the side netting. not a bad effort. Bit of a dummy, I thought.
He chose the most difficult. Remember, the goalkeeper was cutting the far side, and he had to scramble across Buthelezi to try and cover that end. And that was very, very close. A little bit of a better...
Comes from FN Rangers, and he's really, really been impressive. Around the wall, into the side netting. It's not a bad effort. Bit of a dummy, I thought.
He chose the most difficult.
Comes from FN Rangers, and he's really, really been impressive. Around the wall, into the side netting. It's not a bad effort. Bit of a dummy, I thought. Comes from FN Rangers, and he's really, really been impressive. Around the wall, into the side netting. It's not a bad effort. Bit of a dummy, I thought.
He chose the most...
Comes from FN Rangers, and he's really, really been impressive. Around the wall, into the side netting. It's not a bad effort. Bit of a dummy, I thought.
He chose the most difficult. Throughout the season, they've been exchanging that position between him and Zabo.
Sabisi came into this match on 3 yellow cards, by the way, so he'll miss the cups. Quarter-final, space in the middle of the park. You've got to convert those. You have to convert those opportunities.
I thought he opened up the foot beautifully to guide it into that corner, but Bata was excellent here. As he saw, damage to two players with one move. It's a good cut back to the oncoming Dlamini, and it looks like it needed a little bit more of a curl to find the back of the net. Throughout the season, they've been exchanging that position between him and Zabo.
Sabisi came into this match on 3 yellow cards, by the way, so he'll miss the cups. Quarter-final, space in the middle of the park. You've got to convert those. You have to convert those opportunities.
Throughout the season, they've been exchanging that position between him and Zabo.
Sabisi came into this match on 3 yellow cards, by the way, so he'll miss the cups. Quarter-final, space in the middle of the park. You've got to convert those. You have to convert those opportunities.
Throughout the season, they've been exchanging that position between him and Zabo.
Sabisi came into this match on 3 yellow cards, by the way, so he'll miss the cups. Quarter-final, space in the middle of the park. You've got to convert those. Sabisi came into this match on 3 yellow cards, by the way, so he'll miss the cups. Quarter-final, space in the middle of the park. You've got to convert those. You have to go. You know, the psychology. It's all got to fit together, and somehow it's just not. Milwaukee, Mapasa! Milwaukee's done nicely. Cummings has done even better.
Good play by one of the brothers. You got to appreciate this type of pass. Now helping out defensively. Natural lately in recent times was played as a right full back. So it's easy for him to convert. Excellent goalkeeping.
You know, the psychology. It's all got to fit together, and somehow it's just not. Milwaukee, Mapasa! Milwaukee's done nicely. Cummings has done even better.
Good play by one of the brothers. You got to appreciate this type of pass.
You know, the psychology. It's all got to fit together, and somehow it's just not. Milwaukee, Mapasa! Milwaukee's done nicely. Cummings has done even better.
Good play by one of the brothers. You got to appreciate this type of pass.
You know, the psychology. It's all got to fit together, and somehow it's just not. Milwaukee, Mapasa! Milwaukee's done nicely. Cummings has done even better.
Good play by one of the brothers. You got to appreciate.
You know, the psychology. It's all got to fit together, and somehow it's just not. Milwaukee, Mapasa! Milwaukee's done nicely. Cummings has done even better.
Good play.
Sabisi. There is a bit of space available for Dion Hotto if he makes a good first touch, which he always seems to do and does again here. Hotto with a little slider. Mapasa! Again, didn't quite hit the ball.
Plays beautifully, creating the right spaces. It's a beauty of a ball. And Mabasa is onside, but he just doesn't pack the power, as the placement was excellent, which is why he chose, but no power.
Now, one of those shots, and one has to illustrate that, William Shongwe, one of those shots. Sabisi, there is a bit of space available for Dion Hotto if he makes a good first touch, which he always seems to do and does again here. Hotto with a little slider. Mabasa! Again, didn't quite hit the ball. Sabisi, there is a bit of space available for Dion Hotto if he makes a good first touch, which he always seems to do and does again here. Hotto with a little slider. Mabasa! Again, didn't quite hit the ball. Sabisi, there is a bit of space available for Dion Hotto if he makes a good first touch, which he always seems to do and does again here. Hotto with a little slider. Mabasa! Again. Sabisi, there is a bit of space available for Dion Hotto if he makes a good first touch, which he always seems to do and does again here. Hotto with a little slider. Mabasa! Again.
Still, not within a chance to go to knocking a goal at this late hour of the half.
Once again, near post, it's beautifully orchestrated. Fantastic from Sabisi, I think it is. Fantastic. Just pulled away from his marker a little bit. The corner was played a little.
The quality of the header.
Unbelievable. Oh, it's beautiful. The angle, the running was beautiful.
One Pirates player amongst 6 of Chippa United in that box.
And a big gap on the near post.
Critical time of the game. Still, not within a chance to go to knocking a goal at this late hour of the half.
Once again, near post, it's beautifully orchestrated. Fantastic from Sabisi, I think it is. Fantastic. Just pulled away from his marker a little bit. The corner was played a little.
Still, not within a chance to go to knocking a goal at this late hour of the half.
Once again, near post, it's beautifully orchestrated. Fantastic from Sabisi, I think it is. Fantastic. Just pulled away from his marker a little bit. The corner was played a little. Once again, near post, it's beautifully orchestrated. Fantastic from Sabisi, I think it is.
Still, not within a chance to go to knocking a goal at this late hour of the half.
Once again, near post, it's beautifully orchestrated. Fantastic from Sabisi, I think it is. Once again, near post, it's beautifully orchestrated. Fantastic from Sabisi, I think it is. Fantastic. Just pulled away from his marker a little bit. The corner was played a little short. Welcome you back to the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. We're over in Gqeberha this evening for round 21 of the Betway Premiership. A sensational goal 3 minutes into first half stoppage time by captain and Nkosanathi Sibisi gives Orlando Pirates the advantage coming in to the second half of this encounter. Thanks for joining us on your World of Championship tonight from Gqeberha. Joined upstairs by the former national goalkeeper of Eswatini, William Shongwe. Double change for Chippa United. They've already made one substitution with Azolo Ntabo making way for Modise. Now another change. Ronaldo Marman on for Craig Martin. And Bienvenu Everengar comes on for Ayabulele Konkobe. So they've sent on some firepower. I actually think these changes are quite good ones.
Makes a lot of sense. They need the firepower to continue to keep Pirates on the back foot. You can't only just depend to be able to play. You need to keep those defenders on the pool. They need to be thinking about your offensive nature. And which is one way to do it. They often say that the attack is the best form of defense. And I think that's what Chippa United has gone with that. They've got very little to lose here, Chippa. If anything is Pirates that will be under a lot of pressure because they're not only thinking about 3 points here, they're worried about Sundowns playing elsewhere. So Chippa United can take advantage of that. Yes, they've got challenges of their own. 3 points is not going to move them anyway.
Confirmation of those changes then. Marman and Bienvenu Everengar. Cameroonian striker, 3 goals to his credit so far this season. Orlando Pirates then in the green colours will attack the goal to the right-hand side of your screen during the course of the second half. Chippa United in all red will play from right to left, trailing by 1-0. No changes made yet by Orlando Pirates. Maybe they don't need to disrupt what has been a rather workmanlike performance both in attack and defence. And Sibisi with that goal will be very, very chuffed with his first contribution as far as goals are concerned this season. Tell you what, I thought he was pretty good against Marumo Gallants, even though they lost on Saturday in Bloemfontein. Did Orlando Pirates. Modise wins possession for Chippa United. Discussion between himself and Damola Owa. So Orlando Pirates, game's coming thick and fast. Don't forget they are up against SuperSport United on Saturday at the Lucas Masterpieces Moripe Stadium in one of the quarterfinals of the Nedbank Cup. Mamelodi Sundowns against Sekhukhune United. Stellenbosch FC hosting Kaizer Chiefs right here in Gqeberha comes Saturday, and then on Sunday Durban City, the former Maritzburg United up against Marumo Gallants down at the Chatsworth Stadium. It's going to be an interesting day of football. Nice little slider through from Chongwana, cleared by the goal scorer Sibisi. Pirates will want to settle down quickly, and there's no reason why they shouldn't. Ndlozi, Sibisi. Cool, calm, and collected, Mbukazi.
And of course the goalkeeper and Mbukazi in defense. It's an important situation that is developing before them. Pressure coming into this game was that much on a lot of Pirates. So it'll be very encouraging to see that they've been able to hold the fort in that first half, and they can only progress going forward.
A lot of work to be done by Chippa United. They want to get themselves back not only on level terms, but in a position to win a football match against Orlando Pirates in a home match, which hasn't happened, by the way, William Shongwe, since the 11th of May 2016. Last time Chippa United won against Pirates in a home match in the PSL, coached by Dan Malasera. Molongwani and Sali scoring goals for Chippa United on that day. A 2-0 victory for Chippa United 8 years, 9 months and 20 days ago. 3,213 days ago, William Shongwe, since Chippa United last won at home against the Buccaneers, and they trailed by a 1-0.
That's a long time ago.
Old spells.
I'm
nearly caught in possession, sorry.
I'm trying to remember. Is it a game when Manyambela still played for Chippa United? And I think I remember I made a run from deep in his own half and went on to score that goal. I stand to be corrected. It'll be nice to see who was the goal scorer that day, because that just might be the game.
I've got Molanwani and Sali.
Okay, Sali. Remember that stocky attacking midfielder.
He actually scored in the return leg as well. That Pirates won by 4 goals to 1. 2016 in May. Well, as I said, 8 years, 9 months and 20 days ago. And they're going to have to get a wriggle on if they are going to even get an equaliser tonight, Chippa United, because that goal on the stroke of half-time by Sibisi has really turned the tide here, and the confidence in Orlando Pirates will be buoyed. The loss against Marumo Gallants will be a far-flung memory that doesn't bear mentioning. Udise forward, Evan Gar with a nice first touch. This is Kwayiba, who's now playing wide again. Confusion between Kwayiba and Martman. Bienvenu Evrengar off the bench tonight. Only for the second time, his 18th appearance in the Betway Premiership, 16 times in the starting lineup. But he is very, very comfortable and confident in his goal-scoring abilities. He's just got to get the right sort of feed. It's interesting, the free sort of role that Kwayiba's got, because he was just on the inside left channel, but that's where Marman has positioned himself, and Kwayiba just on the right-hand side then. Bienvenu, he has a chance for Nkota. Oh, the space for Nkota was beckoning like the Sea of Galilee. No, he's not Moses.
I thought it was the Red Sea.
The Red Sea, maybe it was the Red Sea.
The Sea of Galilee is also featuring prominently in that region as well. Yes, I mean, this is where normally inverted players score most of their goal, when they cut into inside in that fashion. But you can see his upper body, Kevin. It was already leaning backwards.
The second goal would really make it extraordinarily difficult for Chippa United. And I suppose to add to the positives of this encounter is the situation between Bafana Bastende and Mamelodi Sundowns, which is still level at 1-1. So if Sundowns draw that match and Pirates win here, that's another 2 points closer to the top of the table, you know.
Listen, this thing is still far from over.
Pirates do have those 4 matches in hand as well. Talent Mbata on the defensive this time, but whether he's on the defensive or whether he's on the attack, he's got qualities that shine just about every encounter. It's nice work done though by Chongwana, Kwayiba, Kamis, Philander.
Too much.
I think he took the wrong option first of all by trying to keep the ball in play before he'd actually caught up to it.
Yeah, maybe another step will have been closer to control the ball in a better balance. Looks like he's moved to the right-hand side of the attack for Chippa United. They started on the left.
Absolutely, and that's because Marman is over on the left, showing some versatility from the 24-year-old Philander. Marman, man and ball at the same time. That's strong play by Ndlozi. Pirates suddenly a lot more animated, a lot more pumped, I think, in the second half. The belief is starting to creep back after that Marumo debacle. Little slip from Kwayiba. Busy able to contain with a great deal of ease. Papama's not happy. forward by Talentum Bata. This is Mbukazi. Seems to have a massive amount of belief in his ability. His own ability is Mbekezeli. I'm loving the atmosphere in Klerberg. Unfortunate with the Kaiser Chiefs at home last night, and on Saturday afternoon with the massive crowd at the Toyota Stadium in the middle of Bloemfontein when Pirates were in action against Marumo Gallants, and afterwards as well on the streets. And the fans were in such a good mood as well, even though they lost. Bata closed down quickly. Kamis continues to forage. That's Marman, in fact, this time, and a foul from Mbata. Referee straight to the pocket.
Yeah, it is a foul against Bata.
Mofokeng picks up a yellow card too. It must have been for dissent.
Yeah, standing up against the ref for the decision made.
4 yellow cards for Orlando Pirates. Sabisi Mbukazi, Bata, Mofokeng, they lead by a goal to nil. A 1 yellow card for Azolan Tabo since left the field of play. His position taken by Moleboka Modize. Already 11 minutes played in the second half. Orlando Pirates lead by that goal, and a special goal it was as well. Sekofatsa Mabasa, unselfish, looking for Dlamini. Offside, flat on the halfway line. I think Kwaiba was the guilty party. This is Ndlozi. It's a lovely ball from Ndlozi. I'm not so sure about the Dlamini ball, but that return pass to him from Mabasa was exquisite. And I think Dlamini missed a trick.
So Kwaiba now, with Evanga coming in as the top striker, has drifted into the number 10 position, which he usually plays with Chippa United.
Utility clears in front of Evanga. Back from Kamis. Away by Ndlozi. Space for talent. Flick from Relebokile, and then Korta. The first touch. High corner.
Initially, it looked like it was on the money, but that ball seemed to run a little bit further and further away from him. It looked a great first touch initially.
Daniel Mubali. Kwaiba comes to do a little bit of a pick-up in midfield. Chunkwana. Modize. Marman. Oh, it's kept it in play rather nicely as the substitute. Trying to curl the ball with the outside of his boot, and then gets the return ball from Sabisi. It's not good enough to beat Buthelezi, and just like we've seen from Mabasa, just lacks the power.
Yes, that's exactly what happened in this case. Picks up the ball beautifully, and
loose ball here to Relebokile. Mono did a great job. Fans asking why.
I guess it took a little longer to execute, but also the body weight. I guess Makelele used his body weight to shield the youngster away.
Yeah, it was Makele, not Moloa. That's really good defending from the man born in Lesotho. Forward by Sabisi. Oh, it's a lovely bit of space available for the shot, but got to do a lot better than that to beat the Nigerian goalkeeper. This match continues to develop and ebb and flow with some lovely quality being shown from both sides, and suddenly they're believing in themselves again. Chippa United lose play here in defence from Bukazi. Lovely curling ball. It's a huge collision between the heads there of Eva and Khan. Might have been Sabisi as well, unless it's a Bukazi.
Yeah, Sabisi. It was a ball hanging beautifully for both players to attack. And I guess Evanga coming with a little bit of momentum. He gave momentum, and it's Sabisi who's coming across. So it's two heads basically clashing.
An unavoidable collision, but clearly, look at this again. Whack.
I don't see Sabisi getting up from that one.
Nope. Situation is, how do Orlando Pirates deal with that? Do they bring on Tapelo Koki? Because that's the option.
That's the option.
Let's have a look at the goal from CPC.
Wow. Amazing.
Have a look at the goal here. Oh, my word.
Anticipation.
He ran from the penalty spot, or just beyond the penalty spot, in front of everybody.
Quality.
Everybody at Chippa United, including Morgan Mamila on the bench.
Top quality.
Phenomenal.
Well, seems to have recovered, though he's still going to run around the line to be able to be readmitted into the field of play.
Shaking off that injury
very brave.
nicely. Double change though for Orlando Pirates coming up, but Goodman Mosele will make his return here to play against his former side. Was with Pirates, came to Chippa United for a spell, back in the colours of the Buccaneers. Talented Barter making way for Goodman Mosele. So Dlamini and Barter are off. Marco and Mosele on. Seems to have been in football forever. He's only 25 years old, Goodman Mosele, and I really, I've rated him for years. And just maybe he just hasn't quite, gone over that line to greatness. But he's solid, eh?
This is why every now and then, if you're able to do a little bit of work just behind the scenes to find out why would such a great player. Guys are falling off here. I'm not sure who pushed him, if anybody at all.
Lovely recovery from Nklozi. Massive round of applause for the youngster. Chippa United are in a hurry to get an equaliser. Sonyana. Nklozi covers one more time against Modise. Can't complain about the activity. The match continues to be played at a good pace.
Beautiful. Night games in particular, players enjoys them because they're able to conserve a lot of energy. They don't sweat as much as when it's in the afternoon, where they lose a lot of liquid.
Kamis looking for second ball here. They don't get second ball to Chippa United. Clearance from Makaule. He's had a quiet second half so far, but then I suppose he hasn't had to be that busy. Oh, that's a bit of a problem, but nicely handled by Maringwana. Oh, another challenge in midfield. Mosele gets a touch of Kamis. Mofokeng. Goodman Mosele blocked by Kamis. There's a little hum of anticipation when Goodman Mosele latched onto that one, and Kota now with a little slider. Mofokeng. Kota, well handled by Chippa United.
Game played at high intensity. No matter the high press Chippa tries, Pirates are able to go through.
Richards Bay FC have equalised against Sekakuni United at Kings Welachini. And still the only match without goals is Super Sport United Amazulu. The league is not over yet, William. And still 1-1 between Sundowns and Arrows.
Interesting.
Pirates with the corner. You know what happened the last time there was a corner, William? This is the first of the second half, Orlando Pirates, and the last corner that Mofokeng slid in there. There was a little angled run from Sibisi, and you know what the result of that was? Again, he makes the run to the near post, Sibisi. Dlamini gets his head to it this time, it's wide. Manuma not able to control all the bounce of the ball, eludes Molaoa, doesn't elude Madingwana. I continue to be impressed with the way Madingwana has settled down over the last couple of weeks here in Tebeaga. Nklozi. Bukazi. Makaula. Mabasa. Chippa United able to change the direction of that attack just for the moment. As Goodman Mosele. Mosele looking for Nkota.
How better to control this game for Orlando Pirates by a little bit of ball position. And Mosele is a big man, can hold on to the ball. So I think that's one of the reasons he's dropped in to assist Makaula. Now, not only playing with Makaula as the number 6, but they also bring Mokele just to beef up that middle a little bit. Unlike Talent, who was a little bit more mobile going forward, sometimes leaving Makaula a little bit exposed.
To be careful all the time. Orlando Pirates is no time for complacency, if it is ever something that's in their vocabulary. And that was a dangerous ball. He got away with it from Mbukazi, but only because Goodman Mosele was equal to the task. Monoa, was that a professional foul? It's just yellow. Tijuana offers his congratulations. I'm not sure they'll be shared by the Orlando Pirates faithful, that's for sure. This is the next encounter, Moloa, which is supposed to be the match against Royal AM, and one feels that won't take place. So the match against Polokwane City on the 15th of March.
I'm not too sure if Molaola had too many options there.
No, he didn't.
I think if he misses that tackle, and the youngster is gone, Gota is gone direct face to face. In fact, the potential for that one had a professional foul in it.
Well, without a doubt. But not enough to have been a doxo.
Yeah, but then it was a case of now looking across the field whether there was enough red shirts that could have caught up with Nkota to make it not a doxo.
It would certainly not have been a doxo. Now there's a bit of niggle here with Sibisi, maybe Marman, Mosele getting involved with Kamis, although that seems to be a bit more friendly with Dise and Makaula. Well, there's a little bit of niggle in there, a little bit of emotion. The referee's got his hands full there, Mr. Gasa, but so far he's done okay. Pressure position here. Chippa United need to be strong on the defence. Yeah, that's not great, is it? Koyiba, Kamis, Madingwana, Koyiba again, caught in possession, Koyiba, and now Pirates have players forward. Space in the middle for Mosele, didn't crack it first time. Makaula. Paseko Marco. Turn from Mofokeng. Quarter. And they're all bottled up on that left-hand side at the moment, getting each other's way more than anything else. And that's the result, unfortunately. They win it back, though. Nicely do Pirates. Just for a moment, anyway. Fought by Modise. Marman. Can't keep it in play. So substitution time. It's going to be Philander. He's going to make way for Asenele Bonani. Comes through the junior ranks. And attacking midfielder is Bonani, so maybe a bit more direct route here from Tava September.
Yeah, if you talk Philander, he went dead quiet in this second half. We saw his contribution in the first half, looked very lively, but he seems to fade with every minute in the second half.
Don't forget, Orlando Pirates play again on Saturday at the Lucas Masterpieces Moripe Stadium against Super Sports United, who are level at the moment with Amazulu at the same stadium. Flick on by Bienvenu Everenga, away by Sibisi. Kwayiba was waiting for second ball, it never came. Marman away from Mosele. The challenge from Relebokhile and Dion Hotto, still on the field of play. Retains possession for Orlando Pirates. It's pushed higher up the field, though, as the Namibia into much more of a left-wing position than the full-back position he was playing in. Now, Tsegafatsa Mabasa has missed a couple tonight, but you can always bet on him being in the right place at the right time. Makaula, Paseko Marco, Mbokazi. It's all Pirates at the moment. And a bit of a rearguard action for Chippa United, who will probably have to wait a little longer for another home match next season against Orlando Pirates in the Betway Premiership in any event, and that goes out suddenly more than 9 years without a home victory over the Buccaneers. Pirates looking to get up to 39 points, 55 for Mamelodi Sundowns. Still a 16-point difference with 4 matches in hand for Pirates. But anytime that gap comes down, then it causes your opponent above you to sort of look over their shoulder a little bit. And if you're looking over your shoulder, you haven't got your eye on the prize. And I think this sort of result, well, if Orlando Pirates hang on to win here and Abafana Bestende draw against Sundowns, it'll be, I think, even more of a boost than just the result tonight.
I think the way you put it makes so much sense. It's just about in everything. When you're making a run and somebody's chasing you, then you start looking behind you, bound to trip and fall. And that's where Mamelodi Sundowns are. Should they drop 2 points and then Pirates win, that would be the case.
Look at Dion Hotto, great ball from him. Goes behind Mofokeng. Marman will stab it through to Everenga. Nice first touch from the Cameroonian. Not the best second. Mosele just seems to be, his positioning is so impeccable. Goodman.
That's why I say it's alongside Makala this time, unlike Talimbatu, who is a little bit more adventurous. Yes, Rivero here, the coach of Pirates, is a little bit concerned. Yes, given a foul against Makaula. So it's alongside trying to secure these 3 points, at the same time control the game better. In as far as giving more ball possession, not giving too much ball possession away to Chippa United, who are looking for a ball, who are playing at home, who would like to play on the front foot with every time they're in possession of the ball.
Mosele again in the right place at the right time. Tongwana. Mola over to Mokele. Time is, I don't say quite ticking away at the moment, but it certainly is moving along a little. Orlando Pirates seemingly in control of this one. Patience from Makele.
Too much.
Yep. Top of the table, Orlando Pirates then 16 points behind Mamelodi Sundowns, 12 points from the games in hand. However, there is a match against Mamelodi Sundowns to play, and if they win that one, Orlando Pirates, then it's just 1 point difference.
Just for a moment, we saw the Chippa United boss, Mr. Mbengesi, sitting amongst the other dignitaries.
Pirates have to win everything. Sergio Camis nearly fell for Bienvenu. Sibisi again covers himself in glory. Villarugile gets away from Monaoa, gets away from Makele. Can't get himself away from Tsongwana. I've been impressed with Tsongwana tonight. Free kick for Chippa United.
He's been excellent in that middle park alongside Camis. They continue to find them from just about everywhere, Chippa United. Teto, of course, is not with the squad, is with the Chan team in Egypt for the return leg, having drawn in Devon.
Some musicians in the house. The Chile boys. They look full of confidence, and quite entertaining it is. Can't give possession like that away to a man of the quality of Dion Hotto. The second Marco. Marco that's all control at the moment from Orlando Pirates. They don't necessarily feel as if they really need to put more energy than necessary into grabbing another goal. If it comes, it comes. And it comes naturally. At the moment, they're controlling the pace of the match, the direction of the match. And they really are looking at a quality side, Orlando Pirates. Player down for Chippa United.
He's in the house.
Haven't seen the Marlin smile for a while.
Yeah.
The musicians continue to musician. Meantime, here's Mabasa. Oh, space for Nkota. Didn't keep it in play. Didn't keep it in play. It will not count. Mosela thought he'd scored against his former side. Before his former side, before the former side.
He's beginning to make it a habit of coming in and score goals.
Yep.
Except for this one didn't count.
Certainly did that against Cape Town City, did Goodman. Now the whole of the ball clearly over the whole of the line. So Mosele, but you've got to give a lot of credit to Mosele. You have to. Okay, so Tsongwana is not going to continue because of that injury. This place taken by the Zambian Sakala. Young Zambian striker played at Zesco United before moving abroad. Fifth corner for Orlando Pirates. Hotto will be looking to make inroads here, and it nearly does as well. A little stab with the foot, but you're leaning over backwards, sir. bad effort from Bukazi. You know, one of the beauties of being a youngster is being fearless. You've been given a fantastic opportunity. Him and Ndlozi, great opportunities. Okay, Buthelezi as well. He's much more experienced, Buthelezi. There was all his time at TX Galaxy. But for me, Ndlozi and Bukazi have been a revelation tonight.
You know, I don't know which opportunities you're going to choose. Like one prize, you can only go up from here. Others will have to start from lower leagues and build their way up through the first division. They didn't have to do that.
It goes behind Mabasa. Goodman Mosele again, a little tickle, and they're just getting a little bit loose in defence here. Oh, Baroka. Mofokeng. Just about gets past Kamis. Needed a clearance. Finally got a clearance as well, I think. With good fortune maybe for Chippa United. Oh, there was a foot up there from Marman, and I think they got away with that when did Chippa United. Coach has gone walkabout, and I think Evidence Makgopa is about to make his appearance for the Buccaneers, and maybe Mabasa will make way, and that's exactly what will be the case. Like for like. A run for about 10 minutes at the end of a Betway Premiership encounter. Mabasa, well, during the first half, William, he missed a couple of chances, one with the left, one with the right, where he didn't really get the power behind the ball. But he's a contributor, and he pulls defenders out of positions. He's an important part of this Pirates team.
As long as you have a player that applies pressure to defenders and force errors, and that's what Mabasa does. He might not be able to score every game that he plays, but the pressure he creates contributes to the outcome sometime.
Nice work by Hotto to find Paseka Marco. Marco, if he cuts inside, well, he's not going to cut inside. Could have an opportunity to do that. There's nobody really waiting in the middle. Away by Makele. Now suddenly there is a little bit of a run opportunity for Poyiba, and you can never write off Sino Kolo. Frustration with his own first touch, I think. Six goals. Spoke about in the first half, they came in pairs. Kamis. Kamis, a nice little shimmy from him.
Man, oh man.
Bad.
Listen, I mean, it was lining up with a number of red shirts, just lining up, but the ball somehow managed to evade just about all of them.
All over for Yiba. None of them even got a touch on that one.
I think who's the Zambian? Who's just Sakala was just walked into the field of play.
Oyiba. Could get that Zambian into trouble with that sort of clearance, and now there's an opportunity for Evidence Makgopa. No foul, says the referee. What will he give this time? This time he does give the foul, but it's to Chippa United. Evidence Makgopa. Strong player, former national team player as well, Evidence. 6 minutes in stoppage time away from full time in Gqeberha. Modise. Marman's first touch, she was a little on the heavy side, and Glozy doesn't mind the space he was given. Comes to Modise. Still chance for the top of the head of Sakala. In stoppage time. Marco making sure he's in the right place. It's a lovely second touch here for Orlando Pirates, but unfortunately the delivery on the back end of that wasn't quite with the same quality from Dion Hotto. It's the first time we've really seen him make that sort of error. Modise came on as an early substitute. While there's minutes on the clock, there's danger. Pirates lead by just a single goal. Single goals are enough to win a football match. Marman away from Makaura. Nice turn from Modise. Moloa. That's quite the quality, I don't think, we're looking for, and the ball doesn't reach Evidence Makopa either. Makele away, and that's a rather free ball for Orlando Pirates. Can they make something of it? Bit of a tighter angle might have brought bigger success for Dion Hotto.
Yeah, he plays the ball a little bit behind, and yet when he plays on the run like that, you want to look for a forward pass where the assistant player can run into.
How's that for a signboard? We're not interested, well, he's not anyway, that gentleman, a well-printed signboard. We're not interested in the Betway Premiership, defending the Nedbank Cup and winning the CAF Champions League. That's what the board said, the signboard. Well, there might very well be a singular opinion. Bandile Shandu about to come on for Nkota. A little run for the final couple of minutes here. He's played his heart out tonight, and Nkota, I think he's out of breath, and maybe he's taken a knock in the ribs as well. Pirates just a couple of minutes away from returning to the winner's circle, so to speak. I'll be hoping that the situation between Arrows and Mamelodi Sundowns will continue at 1-1, which it currently is. It's quite incredible, William. 5 matches being played tonight. Four of them are draws. 1-1 draws for City and TX Galaxy, for Arrows and Sundowns, for Richards Bay FC and Sekhukhune. This is only one where there's a potential winner. Away by Modise for Chippa United. It's a bit of a rearguard action though. Free kick for Orlando Pirates. Bandile Shandu gets his first touch after coming on as a sub. Followed by Glozy. This is Makaura. Oh, that nearly threaded the eye of the needle. If that ball had gone through to Evidence Makopa, there was trouble in the offing. Shandu could very well provide a finish to this encounter.
Excellent cover by Modise.
Yep. He's done well since coming on as a sub.
Potential offside call there. But excellently cleared.
We're in the final minute of regulation time in Trebeacha. Is it going to be a welcome return for Pirates back to winning ways? Oh, Mosele a little naughty. Little clip on the back of the head of Malaoa, former teammate. It's He's too good of a player to get involved in nonsense like that. Sakala. Nice intervention from Makaula. Hotto's away here. Relebokhile. Hotto stretches his legs one more time. Very effective off the left. It's lovely defending though from Chippa United. Still a chance though, opportunity! Splendid from Moloa. Absolutely brilliant to deny evidence.
I think if you appreciate football, you'll appreciate South African football. The competitive nature that I've seen from Chippa United and a whole lot of teams that are anywhere around the 9, 10, 11, even 11. I mean, this is quality football, and the defense is just beautiful. To be able to see this level of commitment up to this time of the game.
5 minutes added on by our match referee, Mr. Gasa. Only had 30 seconds of it. 4.5 minutes remaining. Referee with a yellow card out here for time wasting. Don't think there can be too many complaints. And it spoils a rather good game for the Namibian. He really is a tremendous player, and maybe a little careless more than deliberate. Yellow card nonetheless for Dion Hotto. Near post, Machopa. Wide.
Throwing just about everything Chippa United. Look at the players up front there.
Bienvenu, Sakala's in the mix there as well as Kwayiba. Kwayiba, Sakala will chase. Can't keep it in play. Well, they do get the throw in to the Chile boys. Goal for Orlando Pirates came 3 minutes into first half stoppage time from Zabisi. Yeah, you know that it's not over yet. Game of football at half-time when the whistle blown from the referee decisively for the break. The same applies for the second half. And still 2 minutes or 3 minutes away from that situation. Sergio Kamis. Molo was in the right place. Kamis again. Lovely positioning by Mofokeng. But it's all defence at the moment from Pirates. Chippa United decide to go ultra defensive through Moloa. Selin Mubali, too close to Buthelezi. Couple September, anxious.
Letting the game breathe a little bit.
Yep.
Is goalkeeper Buthelezi.
Well, I am not participating in football at the moment. Chippa United will have a little bit of time at their disposal before they take on Polokwane City in the middle of March. Orlando Pirates don't have that sort of latitude because they're in action on Saturday against SuperSport United. It is a cup competition. The Nedbank Cup will continue with the quarterfinals. Out of play by Sakala. Sorry.
What does that mean though for Arrows with that point of that is if the score remains the same, that they catch up to 20 points?
Well, they'll be on 21, same as Cape Town City, but City is drawing as well with Galaxy.
City, yeah.
They'll be up to 22. "90 seconds away from full time in Gqeberha. It's been an entertaining match tonight. Maybe more goals in the offing if Mabasa had struck at least one of the two that he really had good opportunities with. And Chippa United holding their own in a lot of different regions, just in front of goal, not quite sharp enough. Hotto, oh, pulled over Hotto. About the yellow card to Maningwana. I still think he's had a good match, this boy.
Brilliant.
They want to take the free kick quickly as well, do Pirates. So referee says,
better than Luca. He needed that.
Well, he learned from Moloa a bit earlier on when he fouled Barca, I think it was.
Yeah. These are all necessary. As long as you don't hurt the opposition, we're going to try to stop them one or the other, but as long as you don't injure the player.
Final 20 seconds of the match.
Another possible strike at such a critical stage of the game. For me, the possibility there.
Final chance of the game. Hotto bounces awkwardly, but Bali's an experienced man. Referee looks at his timepiece, it's over. Pirates back to winning ways. They lost against Marumo Gallants on Saturday. They bounce back here in another away match against Chippa United. They play away against Supersport United on Saturday in the Nedbank Cup quarter-final. And the away match is